Hi, I'm Cheryl Medeiros.
And I'm Colleen Hungerford, and this is the Inspire Her Collective podcast and community for the whole woman, mind, body, soul, and business.
It's humor infused, as real as it gets, inspiring, and you'll walk away with real, usable tools for life and business.
If you love what you're hearing, please share with a friend, subscribe so you never miss an episode, and rate and review wherever you listen.
And if you find yourself wanting more inspiration and authenticity, visit our website to learn how to join our nationwide community. Let's dig in.
Out of my inbox. One of the biggest ones for me was to stop working by 6 o'clock.
Oh my God. Okay. I like it.
Yeah. And I don't start working until 10 a.m.
Love that.
So in the morning, I have my study time. I go to the gym. Like I have adopted a nice leisurely morning because that's where my brain works. But before I was coming from corporate. So I was on the corporate schedule. I was like, okay, I'm at my desk. It's 8:30. Let me start working. And I would just work until like 8 p.m. at night because as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, and I've been a full-time business owner since 2020, there's always something to do.
My God.
There's
Yes.
always something to do. And so I could not shut my brain off. And part of that was me understanding my self-worth is a little bit low because I felt like the harder I worked, the more I did for my clients, like my value was the amount of work that I was doing was tied to my value. Absolutely. So one of my grown woman standards after I went through this whole like adrenal fatigue and everything was burned out, stop work at 6 o'clock. I don't work on Sundays anymore. I'm still working on Saturdays, but I stop at 1.
Okay.
I stop at 1 p.m. But that was huge for me because one of the things that I found personally, as if I work too late, it disrupts my sleep. Like I cannot bring myself down.
Yeah.
And so, because I think, Cheryl, you have an Aura ring. I saw that you have one on. Yeah. I was noticing the nights that I worked later, like finishing at 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I'm trying to go to sleep at like 10, my HRV would be tanked.
My
heart
HRV
rate
has
would
been
be
tanked
elevated.
for the last week and a half. It's heart
What's
rate variability.
HRV?
And you're trying to get like a low heart rate at some point during the night so that your variability grows. And ideally, I think it's in the first half of the night that your heart rate is
Yeah.
getting to its lowest point. And I am really a mess this last 2 weeks. And I don't know what it is. I'm not like, I notice like if I ate too close to bedtime that I have a
Mhm.
harder time with it because your food's still digesting. That makes sense. Obviously, drinking alcohol, my HRV is terrible, but I've been doing those things, so I don't know why. I think it's just stress, maybe. Can stress affect that?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. If your brain is still going, like your heart rate is still going to be your nervous system is still elevated, so your heart rate's
Mm-hmm.
not going to drop.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's one of
So,
the things. Yeah, you can try one of your grown woman standards. Cheryl may be like, okay, I have to empty my brain out before I go to sleep, and you
mm-hmm.
just have to like I do that. That's one of my wind down activities. You have to figure out like what's the best way for you. Like my client I was just talking about, she likes to write. She's a journaler. I don't have time to journal at night. I don't want to sit down and write. I will voice dictate brain dump and just get it out.
Oh, I like
That might
that.
work better for me.
I love that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I want to write. I do. I want to do it, but I just don't do it. But a brain dump that way might help. And it is. It's a lot of it is just like my kids are my biggest stressor. We just starting summer. They have a new nanny. I have nerves around one of my children has an autoimmune condition that affects her mood and how she behaves. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Ugh, gotta hand her to a new nanny and it's so stressful. And like, what are all the ways I can set him up for success? And my brain is just like all night long. I'm dreaming about it.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sure
Yeah.
that would be a
Yeah.
very good.
Empty the brain out at night, do a brain dump. And then find if you like to write, like I write in the morning. So if you can find time to just do a brain dump in the morning or like set your intentions of how you want the day to go, how you want to interact with your kids, like write it all down. I teach this thing called belief journaling of like you just decide how you want your day to go and you write it out at the beginning of the day.
Mhm.
I like that. So tell me more about that belief journaling. So you're just, is it like vision, it's like vision boarding through journaling, essentially.
Kind of. Yeah, kind of. So I don't know about y'all, but like when I wake up, my brain is in the gutter.
Mm.
And usually I call it's in Problemville, right? You're thinking about, oh my God, I have so much to do today. My clothes don't fit. Look at my arms. Like, what am I
Look at
going to
my
wear
arms.
today? Like, your brain is just in Problemville. And when you're in Problemville, there's one problem, and then there's another problem, and another problem, and another problem, and another problem. So that's my own personal, like, this is how my brain works. And
Yeah.
so I started when I finally like could get myself to start writing down how I really felt. I was like, okay, the brain dump is nice, but I still feel active. Like I still feel activated. I still feel anxious. And so I started doing this thing called belief journaling. Like if I wanted my day to go like this, what would it look like? Like
Mm.
if I want to go to sleep tonight and like feel really good about what I did today, what would I be doing? Who am I talking to? How am I showing up? What did I accomplish? Because this brain here, y'all, I'm so mean to myself.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And that would help me just set the intention for a better, not a, like a fantastic day, but it set the intention for a better day
Like,
versus me just going in of like, oof.
Well,
my God.
it's like our words have left me, but like what you give attention to is what grows. The grass is green where you water it, all those things. So if
Right.
you are
Mhm.
putting the intention, it's just like the vision board. Like I'm giving this the attention and this is what's going to come of it because this is where I'm focusing. And
Yep.
like setting the attention, being so intentional with your day and deliberate about your day because you've already decided how you want it to go. Like that's very powerful.
And you know what else makes it even more powerful? I'll put my headphones on and I will play. I have a Spotify playlist of movie soundtracks. So, like the real intense, like it started with
Yes.
Wonder
Hmm.
Woman. When that was out a couple years ago, I was like all on the Wonder Woman train. And it
Ooh.
started with that soundtrack. And so now I have all of these like wartime or like fight movie soundtracks. And that's when I'm writing about like, this is how my day is going to go. This is how I'm going to feel. This is what I'm going to accomplish. And it just gives a little bit of sensory to what you're doing.
Love that. Love
So
that.
fun.
To like add a soundtrack to your journaling. It's like,
Add a soundtrack to your life. Yes.
my gosh. Oh, hey, Cheryl.
Oh, hey, Colleen.
Question for you. You and I have created this really awesome community of women nationally. They're amazing. Like, honestly, the best listeners, community members, people, it, women in the country. We have four men, maybe. If I were a business, large or small, and I wanted to also capture that amazing community and let them know about what I do, what might I do that?
We have ad sponsorship availability options, and you can just navigate to our website, theinspirehercollective.com, and find the section of our website where you can apply to be a sponsor or have an ad on the podcast.
Do I have to be a big corporate company in order to do that?
No, we have all levels of sponsorships available.
And if I am a big corporate company, can I also do that?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
Please
Please.
do. Please do.
Absolutely. Do that.
Amazing. Okay, so then talk to us a little bit about like there's obviously so much, I would say a lot of this is like mental and emotional work that you're doing with your clients because
Yeah.
we know that like so much of there's like genetics obviously involved in weight gain and loss, but
Mhm.
so much of it is behavior and stress and whatever. But like what are some of the things that you're finding like not that anybody's handling the mental or the physical in like one day, but like once that's kind of under wraps, like what are some of the like more like tangible like things that seem to be working for women in this kind of like midlife perimenopause? Because I hear a gamut of things, right? Like we hear the like don't do hit exercises because it raises your cortisol, but then I hear people say, nah, man, do the hit exercises if that's what you like to do. Or, like we should all be weightlifters, right? Like me, like bulking up, or, no, you should just be walking, whatever. So, like, I know there's probably not one answer, but like, what are you
Mhm.
seeing? Like, what is, or
Oh
is it
yeah.
mostly diet based?
So I love that you asked that question because everybody wants to know, like, what
Yeah.
do I
What are we supposed to
do?
do, Jen? Tell
Tell
us.
me, Jennifer, tell me what to do. And here's the problem, because there are so many recommendations, there's so many experts saying this, there's so many studies that say this. It was the same thing with dieting. Like, there's not one plan, one protocol that's going to work for you forever.
Mm,
And so that's why I stopped dieting forever, right?
yeah.
What you want to do, what I teach my clients is you've got to understand and learn how to connect the dots. You have to
Mm,
understand your body's always sending you a text message. It's always your natural state is well-being. And if something is off, you have a rash, you have the under eye swelling, you can't sleep at night, like your body's like, hey, something's off. Like, I need something, or you need to take something away. And we just need to pay attention to what it is. So one of the questions, or one of the things with connecting the dots, is that we're looking at your symptoms, but we're also looking at your labs at the same time. So
okay.
if we're looking at your labs, Colleen, and your cortisol is high, then you're not doing a HIIT workout. I don't care if it worked for your best friend and she's doing great at Orange Theory Fitness. You're
Right.
not doing a HIIT. You can do weight training, but you're going to have a longer rest and recovery in between. You're going to
Mm,
do more walking. I wouldn't even say zone 2, like just get your little steps in. And that will be custom for you in that period of time. So the other thing I like to do is look at the labs every 90 days, 3 to 4
mm,
months, because if you're making lifestyle changes, if you're adding in supplements, if you're doing HRT, GLP-1, peptides, and things like that, we need to know whether it's working.
yeah. Fair.
And your lifestyle changes, like things are going to change. So you don't want to keep doing the same protocol you started doing at the beginning of the year. And by October, like your numbers are much better. You don't necessarily need to be taking the same supplements or the same dose or the same thing. So
So with
that's
these
one of the.
labs that you're
Mhm.
recommending, are people doing these through their doctor? Is this like function lab? Like where are you sending people to get these done?
Yeah. So I partner with a telehealth company. So
Okay.
I can send my clients to get comprehensive labs. We look at cardiovascular biomarkers, we look at nutrient biomarkers, we look at metabolic biomarkers, and all of your sex hormones. So it's like 72 different things that most general practitioners are not running all at the same time.
Right.
So it gives us a set point. It gives us something. And so you take those labs to your physician, to your doctor, whoever we think that you need to share this with, and you go from there. But I have clinicians with the telehealth company that can prescribe HRT, they can prescribe a GLP-1, and they can prescribe peptides.
It's great.
But all of those things are just tools. Like, I'm just very much of like, okay, y'all, like we need to work on the mindset. We need to work on nutrition. We need to work on like the grown woman standard stuff. And you have these other things to support you as you're enforcing your own standards and then and creating a different protocol for yourself. But it's all going to be custom. It's all
Yeah.
going to be custom.
I think that just obviously makes so much sense because so often, so many of us grew up in this like diet culture heavy society, right? And it was like 90 days, you're going to be fixed. Like you do 45-day reset and you're reset for life. But like never does it ever say, and it's a book that is supposed to just apply to everyone, right? Or whatever it is. But nobody ever says, like, hey, like, but also maybe as your body changes, or maybe as you change, or whatever, this might not work anymore, right? Like,
Mhm.
and I think that is probably one of the biggest struggles that, probably a lot of women run into is like you were talking about. It's like, I used to do this in my 30s or my 20s and I could gain 20 pounds real quick, but I could also lose 20 pounds really quickly, right?
Mhm.
And then as you get older, you're like, wait a minute, I've done this, and now my body's not responding to this thing anymore, right? Whatever this diet is or this exercise
Mhm.
plan. But what we're not really, you're not really thinking about in that moment is how has your body changed over the last 10 years since the
And
last
we
time you
just,
did.
yeah, nobody told us. Nobody gave us the memo that our
Yeah.
bodies have changed. Like when
Yeah.
I first started gaining this perimenopausal weight, I was like, oh, I need to go do a HIIT class. I joined a new gym.
Yeah.
They were doing like circuit training, and I'm in there with like the 20-year-olds. And one thing I didn't know, when your hormones are fluctuating, your muscular skeletal system changes. So I'm in, and I'm pretty strong. I'm in there doing a sandbag squat. Have you done those? Where you take the sandbag and you like throw it over your head and put it
No,
on your shoulders and you do
no.
squats with it? Yeah, I know, Cheryl.
Mm.
I was doing the most. Anyway, I hurt myself, like injured myself majorly trying to do that. And then I like couldn't walk for months.
My God.
But that was something that I did CrossFit back in the day. Like those are the workouts that I like to do. But my body was like, yeah, no, that's too much for us right now.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
just
mean,
happened to Alex, my husband, not to talk about a man, but he used to, when we met, he lifted and was like super jacked, ripped. And then as life happened, he had less and less time. Well, he decided, for approaching 40, I'm going to start lifting again. And he lifted in the same way that he used to lift. And
Mm-hmm.
then wouldn't you know, he couldn't fucking walk or get out of bed or get off the toilet because he hurt himself so bad. And now he's got
Yep.
3 bulging discs. And like, that's just not
Oh,
how your body can exercise right now. You work up to that. You don't just go straight back to where you were at
well,
25, bro.
there's
yeah.
that. There's that too, right? Like, it's like we just think, well, we've done this before, so we know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Muscle
Mentally,
memory, it'll be fine.
yeah, mentally, you know how to do it. And then you're like in there and you're like, oh, okay. But I think this whole
Different
idea,
approach.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's I really like this idea, Jennifer, of that like you have to continually evaluate because we talk about this even just in business all the time, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
if
Yep.
you're not constantly evaluating and adjusting to the environment or adjusting to your, where you are in the next stage of your business, like it's not going to work. But obviously then that applies for physical bodies as well.
Yeah.
Who
I
knew?
think that's why I like that. I like all of my plans have always been 90 days. We're always assessing.
Hmm.
In 90 days, we look over and we look at our data. And it's because I have a consultant background. So I like data. I like analyzing things. And like we tweak, we make plans, we keep collecting the same data and we keep tweaking. And that's how you improve. And you also get to know your body really, really well. And you also begin to trust yourself more around food. It's just the consistency of like working with a coach and doing that work every 90 days. Now I just add in like, oh, we just got to add in labs. That's our new data that we're looking at.
Yeah. Well, and I think in particular if you're working with women who are like, type A or high achieving, like
Mhm.
we like to see the progress or we like to see the data. Like we want to know something that's like objective. There's so much of the like, yes, my jeans fit better or oh no, they fit tighter or whatever, but to look at your labs and say like, hey, actually you have improved your
Yeah.
cholesterol or you've improved your whatever, right? Like that's so important. And then also looking at like the whole general health of your body versus just physical. And I think that's something that had changed for me really mentally, like my whole life up until probably my 30s and part of my 40s. It was how did I look? Like what was my weight and what size did I wear and how did I look? And then I
Mm-hmm.
think it really started to shift for me when I was just like, I just need to be healthy because anytime I'm reaching these goal weights, I'm not looking how I thought I was going to look and I'm still not happy. Right. Like, and I think that
Yep.
that is
Yep.
also like the, like perfectionist in me or like the overachiever in me. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
I love to work to a goal, but then you get to the goal and you're like, cool, now what? Next goal. Right. You're never satiated in that thing. But if you're working towards health,
Yeah.
it's like, that's a whole different mindset and perspective.
Yeah. One of the things I take my clients through is a very detailed core why of like,
Mm,
why do you want to do this? Because at this age, we have done the diets before. Like I want to just be, the size I was when I was in high school. Like, why?
I-
Because that's when you think back, oh, I really liked myself at that time. It's not a real reason. That's not going to motivate you. It's not going to get you out of bed, at 5 a.m. to go to the gym. So I help them dig deep and we go deep, deep, deep of like, why do you want to do this?
mm,
And the answers have like made some of my clients cry, just like
mm,
weep. One client, she came to me because she wanted to lose weight, but she ended up doing the activity and she tied it to her mom. Oh no, it was her one was her mom. Her mom had passed when she was like in her 50s.
Mhm.
And I forgot from what disease, but that was one thing that motivated her to want to lose weight. But she also said, I want to do this for my future children because she hadn't had any kids yet.
My God.
So she was already thinking about the example that she wanted to set. And like, she was like weeping when she got to that why. And that, I mean, she's lost like 30 pounds. She looks amazing. She's all over social media talking about her core why and how that literally changed her life. And so we've got to find a deeper why. Like I'm sure like with business, you have a why of like you want to
Right.
build, wealth and a legacy and things like that. It's you also have the same thing for your health.
Yeah. It's like I find, especially having a daughter, and Cheryl has daughters, right? I think like
Mm.
I want to make sure that I'm setting an example for her about health versus physical appearance, right?
Yes.
And,
Mm-hmm.
that is a big thing for me is always just like, I, I want her to be body neutral. I want her to feel like I know she's going to have feelings about her body at some point in some way, but I don't want those to be because of my feelings about my own body, right? And I think those are some of the more consistent ways, right? Like I even think it's kind of funny now because it's not nice to my husband, but my kids joke because like I work out and I like they see me going for a walk, they see me going to the gym, they see me playing tennis, like they see me doing all these things, but like they're not seeing their dad do as many things like that. And so now I'm the example of the person who is doing those things in their life, right? And that's really cool because it was, my mom did a lot of those things, but she did them for reasons because she hated
The
herself. And
aesthetic.
yeah,
Yeah.
she just like that was more about like her own issues and her own physical appearances and things like that. But I took those
Mm-hmm.
on so dramatically, right? Because worth was based on what you looked like and what size you were and your appearance and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not something that I want for my daughter or for my boys, right? Because I also don't want them to look at women and think that woman is valued.
Hmm. So you want to change that trajectory,
Oh my
right? The family
gosh,
trajectory.
we
Yeah,
are
that's
breaking
really
generational curses over here.
that's really really important because the messaging like my mom received, she passed it on to me. I remember my mom doing Jenny Craig
Oh
and my
yes,
dad buying it for her, and I remember her like laying on the bedroom floor doing her crunches because she was very like self-conscious about her stomach. Never mind, she had two kids.
yeah, right.
And
And that's just
yeah,
what
and so
bodies look
that
like after.
exactly. So that just like like you said, I absorbed all of that. So, one of the things that I absolutely teach is how to love yourself as you're losing weight.
Mm,
Because that was a big lesson for me. It was like, I just need to get to this weight and then everything's going to be great. No, I had to learn how to love this body no matter what size it was. And that's really hard for a lot of my clients.
It's
that's
It's
really
really,
hard.
really, but once it clicks,
I
it's like, okay, it's different.
I have chronic kidney disease and several autoimmune diseases, and I have found
Mm.
myself mad at my body for that. And then I've had to have a shift of like, okay, but like you've still given me three children and like you carry me through
Mm.
my days and I have energy to do things like, which I haven't always had. And, so I've had to really shift my mindset around like, I, I have for a long time said and think like my body is the least interesting thing about me, the way it's shaped. Like you don't love me or hate
Mhm.
me because the way I look. You love me or hate me because of who I am. And like this body is my vessel, is my tool to get me through all of these
Yeah.
things. So, and like my goal with the girls is to model mental and physical health. Like I
Mhm.
want you to like, and then my kids will ask me sometimes, is this healthy? Maybe it's top ramen or something. I'm like, sometimes that might be really healthy. It's probably not a food we're going to eat all day, every day. But like
Mhm.
sometimes if we just need something, that might be the most healthful thing we're going to put in our body right now. And that's fine. I just really try to like, foods aren't bad.
I love that.
Choices aren't
Yeah.
bad. We're just really trying to fuel our body with whatever it needs in that moment. Like when I don't feel well, top ramen is the easiest soup to make. Done. I'm eating something.
Sounds like grown woman standards over there, Cheryl.
Yes, I
Like
love
you just
it.
named like 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
I
Love
love
It's
it.
it.
it's
I
all
love
the
it.
therapy. It's all the therapy. All the
It
therapy
helps.
helps.
It helps.
It does.
Well, Jennifer, thank you. Like you're just, first of all, light and lovely to chat with, and wonderful to be
Thank
around.
you.
And thank you for being here and having this conversation, and also doing what you do, because I think it's just so important, especially for all women, but I think particularly for this group of women who are like really high achieving, because like
Hmm.
Cheryl said, like the probably the least interesting thing about us is our bodies, but like it is the thing that can make us feel the worst about, right? And it can be the thing that like no matter how
Absolutely. Yeah.
much you achieve, it's not good enough because you didn't wear a size 6 to the awards banquet or whatever, you know.
Hmm.
So I really, the work that you're doing is really important, and thank you for doing that. So if everybody
Thank
wants to,
you.
all of our listeners want to get a hold of you and work with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Google me, Jennifer Dent Brown. I'm all over the internet,
I love
all
it.
over the interwebs. Instagram, if you can search me on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn. And I also have a podcast, Stop Dieting Forever. This is actually, I was thinking this morning, I was like, is this 4th year anniversary of the podcast? Yeah,
Yes.
in June. Yeah. So I've got hundreds of episodes. So you can listen to my philosophy on weight loss and food and dieting and numbers and body image and all of the things. And now the grown woman standard and grown
Love
woman
it.
energy.
Love that. I'm going to come up with
Yeah.
my
Thank
own
you guys
grown
so much
woman
for having me.
standards.
This is like my favorite thing to talk about.
Thank
Oh,
you so much. Always
amazing.
loved having you.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. And we'll see you guys next week. Inspire Herd.
Bye.
Bye. That's a wrap. Thank you for joining us on this journey of laughter, life, and growth. Please remember to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if you found value in today's conversation, we'd be thrilled if you would leave us a review on your favorite platform. Your feedback means the world to us.
And don't forget to share this podcast with your friends, family, and anyone who could use a good laugh and some practical insight into navigating the challenges and triumphs of our minds, body, soul, and business. And remember, you're not alone on this path to success. We're right here with you every step of the way.
Remember, we're doing this right.
Right?